Okay, there we go. Hey, y'all. I don't know what that was, but welcome to the GenXCynics.
It's going to be my new thing. I'm going to do it to you every week.
Please don't.
Yeah.
No.
Every time we get ready to go live, I'm just going to...
I can't wait. Welcome to the GenXCynics. I am one of your hosts, Kalari GXC.
I'm Axiom Wolf.
And we are live right before Halloween, and there's a lot to talk about.
Halloween's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Trick or treat.
Yeah. And I know since, things are still not completely normal, that a lot of us had to change up our holiday things and traditions. If you're partying, please be safe. If you're like us and probably just going to do pizza and a movie, that's been our household tradition for a while.
Several movies and probably some popcorn.
Yeah, and candy. We got plenty of candy.
We're going to have tummy aches Monday.
I'm not going to eat that much candy, though. I'm not a sugar person.
Fine. I'm going to have a tummy ache Monday.
Yeah. You're a kiddo, probably. But we got a lot of candy, y'all. I overboard candy, so.
Do I get to torture him at all tomorrow being it's Halloween?
No, why?
It's because it's Halloween. I gave you the reason why.
No, but that's not a good reason to torture anybody,
I'm not going to, waterboard him or nothing. Just
goodness.
He's going to come around a corner and I'm just going to be, rah! No?
I'm gonna let him loose on you then, because I've always instilled in him not to start none.
Hey, Cincinnati, how's it going?
Hey, Cincinnati, welcome. But if you start, I can't rightfully tell him not to retaliate.
I know, I just let him know that if he retaliates, retaliation comes back.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let y'all just take each other out then, because that's the thing. If I don't start anything with him, he doesn't start with me. So if you start,
the tigers, the thrill. Okay, never
mind.
Back to topic.
Yeah. So the topic today is definitely going to be gaming. There are a lot of games we've been playing, and they're all doing Halloween events. So that has been a lot of fun.
I'm just rendering my Halloween video at the moment. That's good.
Nice.
That's good. I did Ghostbusters for Halloween.
Yeah.
I might do it a little bit tomorrow, too. I don't know. Actually do some on Halloween.
You were enjoying that, too,
I was having a
weren't
lot of
you?
fun with that, yeah.
Yeah, and it looked like a fun game. It was funny, though, because I was trying to multitask while you were playing that, and all I could do was hit you.
Trying to be a team player on that.
Yeah.
With that high difficulty setting. I mean, I played that on high difficulty setting before.
Yeah.
But just for some reason, that boss it's like I can't do it. As soon as I ignored the other two and just was like, okay, I'm going to draw them back this way, then I'm going to jump into a portal and jump over and help them out, it worked so much better.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm trying to be a team player and they're not working with me. They won't come and help anybody but me.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Hi, Ziana.
Hey, Zy. And that's the thing. A lot of games are set up like that. The AI for party players that you aren't directly controlling can be messy, and they're trying to get better. Like, I play the games Dungeons and Dragons online, and they have come a long way from their hirelings, but they still have the pru brain issues. Yeah. Depending on what type of hireling they are, you're going to have something that walks into lava, pulls a lot of aggro, or just dies and is a soul stone slot. So it can be hard.
I say that 5 times.
I know, right?
That was a tongue twister.
But even they have gotten to the point where they're useful. And the problem with old AI especially is sometimes your party members aren't as useful.
Yeah.
But
it was fun. I don't know. I'm going to think on it. I don't want to start streaming that while you're streaming your game. And then
why not? It's not a competition. I tell people all the time
I'm not worried about competition. I'm worried about connection issues.
Oh.
I don't want to be constantly disconnecting you or me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
know what I'm saying?
Okay, dear, stop, please. With DDO though, I'm sure you can do it. It doesn't take that much.
We'll see.
On the connection.
It's gonna be how I feel tomorrow. Today was a weird day. Today was just low energy, but the day is moving right through. I can't believe it's 4 o'clock already.
I know.
Almost 5.
I was multitasking though through some of the app games that I like to play, because they're all doing Halloween events too, and I've been missing out on some of the big games. Like, I am enjoying Destiny 2's Season of Lost, not the whole unlocking crap, but I do like the haunted Halloween stuff.
Yeah, I like the fact that they actually gave it a story.
Yeah.
And they actually made it like you want to play it. It wasn't like last season when they did it and it was just like, this is a travesty.
I didn't mind the leveling, and I'm not gonna lie, because I know it wasn't for everybody. I didn't mind going in there and having the different levels, and then having that big boss level that if you fell, that was it for you. You're gonna get annihilated.
Right.
That was fun too. I just like that they're changing stuff up as well, and they're keeping it interesting, because you go in expecting one thing and you get a whole nother.
And I'm hoping a lot of that is them listening to player feedback.
The
only thing I'd like to see them bring back is the Sparrow Racing. I'd like that to be a permanent thing, because you have all these cool vehicles, and what do you get to do with it? Nothing.
Just collect them, I guess. My thing is, I enjoy seeing developers want to do more creative, fun, event-type things, too. And I know events are for everybody, because you always have those that complain. Like, during DDO, it does get a bit laggy, because a lot of people are participating in the Halloween event, but it's because those events only come once a year, and they're fun.
Yeah.
And you can unlock a lot of cool-looking things for a limited time. That's why they're so appealing.
Yeah.
And it's not for everybody, but that's why the games have the ability to opt out. That's why they keep them separate from the main.
Well, yeah, I got a couple of app games that they're doing Halloween events, and it's like, it's hard to do that, though, because the events are like, you sit down, it's like, okay, I'm going to play this event for a little bit, and you look up from your phone, it's 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Because you just got so involved in it.
And then you've got games that are worldwide, like the current game we're playing now, the Slime Isekai Memories, that we might not get certain holiday events just yet, because they just launched here in the U.S., even though they launched in Japan in March, and B, it's hard to roll out an opening and then throw an event.
And that is
on
a fun
top
game.
Of it.
If you guys have the opportunity to play it,
it's free to play.
Free to play. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone.
But it depends on your device, because we learned that the hard way.
I got a new text tone off the old Transformers.
I love it.
And it makes her giggle every time it goes off. And it's just like, I'm going to hate to replace it with my old one, but every time it goes, doesn't matter when it goes off.
I've not laughed at all the time, but it's just the perfect timing when it does that.
Okay, so I took a screenshot of it to send to a buddy, so I'm just going to show you guys the screenshot of it, because I think it'll translate a little bit better. I don't know if you guys can see that at all.
I don't know if it'll come in clearer, but it... And you are using the...
Okay. There you go. Now you can see it.
Yeah, Slime Isekai Memories.
And it's not like my phone is an S9. Your phone is the one that you're playing is the S7?
Yeah, S7.
It won't download on our newer devices. Like, my tablet is brand new, and I can't find the game at all.
And on my new phone, it won't download at all.
And I've tried several different devices just to see, like, will it be just as it's a device, or if it's a brand or whatever. And I think it's just because they're probably rolling it out in
increments.
Increments, because there isn't a move your account. So I think later on it will be available, and then you can move your account from this device to the newer device.
I was just hoping, like most app games, that you would be able to use the...
I'm going to mute that so that you don't giggle every time it goes off.
Okay. I was just hopeful that, like, a lot of app games in the Google Store, I'd be able to pair it to my laptop using certain devices like BlueStack or Vox or whatnot, but it's just not available yet. So if you are looking to play it on bigger screens like a tablet and stuff, hopefully your tablet's old enough to run it, but if not, you're going to have to figure out which Android or iOS device you have that can run the game. But it is fun. If you are a fan of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, you're going to get a lot of the story that you loved. Yeah. You're going to get a lot newer stuff, and it's challenging.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's a fun game to play, because it's like gives you
so much to do.
It gives you a couple different options for how you can actually combat, and then it gives you like a lot of the characters. The draw system on it, I love.
Yeah.
Even getting repeat characters,
it's useful.
It's useful. Everything they've done with it so far has been a good thing.
Yeah.
It's just that I got a A01 and I think an A11 that we tried, and it didn't work on it. And I did hear about the Roblox shutdown, but all I heard was that it was shut down. and I don't know what's going on with
Yeah,
it.
we didn't get the details, but people have been grumbling about Roblox for a bit.
Yeah.
I've heard a few streamers talking about the issues that they had, how popular Roblox had gotten because of platforms like Twitch, and how so many people were playing it, but they didn't fix any of the bug issues.
No.
They didn't fix any of the lag and cheats that people were using to like game the system.
Right.
So it was cause of frustration because it looks fun. We watched Moist Critical play a couple of times.
Yeah, I watched some footage of it. It's not something that I would look to play myself.
It's too busy for me.
It's kind of like, it's almost a sensory overload thing with it. That's why I won't go to, what was that one game that we were watching? Fortnite, yeah. There's just too much going on in that game that I can't focus on. I have a hard enough time doing Crucible on Destiny.
And while I don't mind multitasking in certain games, I just feel like my limit for all the players around me in any given game is the 12-person raids that I sometimes do in the MMO. And we only do that every once in a while because it can be overwhelming.
Right.
I don't need a whole bunch of busy stuff when I'm gaming. That's just my personality, though.
Yeah, it's this multi-billion player platform, and it's been on maintenance for about 32 hours. Now, that's a long time to be down.
That is a long time to be down.
Have they said anything to the players at all, or are they just leaving the maintenance screen up and just a generic message on it?
It could be that they found something that's game breaking. It could be an update.
They could be trying to do a patch and just do it all at once.
Yeah, or they
but I think they would give notice that, hey, on this day we're going to do this.
Unless they screw something up, like
unless they're really trying to scare people for Halloween and just be like, the game's not coming back. Ooh.
I don't know. With gaming, it's always touch and go. We had problems with Sandstone a few months back, and I say problems in the sense of they didn't do this on purpose. And I think people need to understand this about game developers.
Yeah.
They want us playing.
Yeah.
That's how they make their money. This is what they went into. And I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you're just a fangirl. No, I've worked on both sides. And it really hurts to see people constantly bashing game developers. I'm not saying there aren't people out there that just cash grabbers who put out crap. But for those games that have been there for years, they have a dedicated force. So when things go wrong, they are panicking because they want the system up. They want us to be able to play.
That's how they make the money. And not even microtransactions.
Yeah.
Like when you're going on there and you actually spend money on a game to buy something, they get ad revenue. They get
subscriptions depending on the type of game.
If you play a game and you like it, you recommend it to a friend, they download it, they make money off every facet of it.
Sucks, we are in a day and age where if your game doesn't have something, people know about it because we can spread it on social media. We have channels like ours that talk about gaming and stuff. So it is imperative for game companies, especially long-lasting game companies, even games like Destiny, which I'm going to talk about my gripes on Destiny in a few minutes. But honestly, if it was bad, I just wouldn't be playing it. There are plenty of games out there that I just don't have any interest in, so I don't bother with it. Or if I tried it, I don't like it, I say why I don't like it. My point is, in this world, for people to act like game developers are going after gamers or they're purposely tanking their game, is such an insult to the people that really, they want to do what's right.
Yeah. And
they enjoy the game as well. And I don't say this like I'm best friends with any game developers. I personally don't know them. I did PR when I worked for the game industry. But the people that I got to interact with and talk to, they care about the game. People who do the community work care about the game. But they're not there to take y'all's abuse.
Yeah.
And some of you think that you can do that and get away with it. You think your anonymous gamer tags give you liberty to treat these people crappily, and it's not right. They love the game just as much as you. That's why they take your abuse. And they shouldn't have to. Obviously, you love the game more than you let on, too, because you're in there bitching and griping.
Right.
So, stop it. I know me saying that's not going to stop them, but I just feel calling y'all out.
Wouldn't it be great if it did? Like,
it would.
Everybody that watched the video just stopped all the griping that they were doing.
I mean, complaints are going to happen. And I don't want people thinking, oh, you're saying I don't have the right to complain when something's not. No, but make your complaint make sense. Some of you are out there thinking, if I complain enough about this, I'll get free stuff. Or if I complain enough about this, I can break this because I don't like the way this character's playing. the games are never going to be perfect for everybody. If somebody has found a way to be better in a game than you, stop taking it personally and just play the way you want to play.
I think I need to make a little poster, kind of like an Uncle Sam poster with your face on it, pointing at the people going, stop it.
I just want, and sometimes I do. It gets frustrating.
I think everybody would want that as a poster.
I know.
Stop it.
I know jealousy in gaming happens.
Right.
One of the things that I realized when I was playing hardcore in one of my favorite games is I didn't want to keep striving for the leaderboards because I felt like I was just getting a green-eyed monster towards it. And I realized I was just having fun surviving in hardcore mode.
Right.
To me, that's more of an achievement than anything, because I seen people like, I gave up after the first week. I just couldn't get out of the harbor. And I realized I'm getting to level 20 at least. Mm-hmm. I might not ever see my name on the actual leaderboard because I don't push for that, but I'm surviving in a mode that most people can't. Right. And I think that when you have that attitude that you're having fun, that triumphs a lot over, oh, I'm the best of the best. Because those people, and I don't speak for all of them, because there are some that are really good at gaming that love the game and that enjoy themselves. But there are some people that are really good at gaming and then they get bored and they make it bad for people around them. Yeah. And those people shouldn't be the ones that are elevated so much, but they are.
Is that Minecraft? No, neither one of us actually play Minecraft.
I've tried.
I try to watch some streamers play it, just to, like, a friend will play it and I want to support their channel, so I'm watching it. I get really bad, like,
I fall asleep.
Like motion sickness with it, and I don't get motion sickness. I've been on a boat. I've been on pretty much anything that can give you motion sickness, except for a plane. I don't even know if that can do it.
Oh no,
And I had vertigo really bad at that one time. Remember about 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And watching people play Minecraft gives me that same discombobulation. That I can't do it.
Wow.
I don't know why it does it to me. I just don't know if it's the point of view that you're playing from, or just what. But I can't do it.
And then with Kiddo, he really wanted me to get into it because he loves watching the Minecraft videos. I think he would play more if he had the patience to sit long. He's not one of those people that are that into gaming because he has to constantly be moving.
Yes, but I think it might be the pixels.
Maybe. He had me sit there, and I gave it a good 2 hours of just playing and what I like to call crafting, gathering resources, and doing all that stuff. And I was like, this isn't fun for me.
Yeah, and I don't mind, like, I don't want to make it sound like I'm anti-Minecraft.
No, I feel like people that love it have their reasons.
Yeah,
and
I get why people like it. I think it's the great premise. Yeah. I think just when it was put out, it was like, hey, play this 8-bit game on a high-def device. And I was like, I got high def so I could get away from 8-bit.
And I don't mind, and I said it before, I don't mind 8-bit for certain games because I'm always going to play my nostalgic games. I play classic Pokemon, I play classic Legend of Zelda and Mario Brothers when I'm in the mood.
Yeah.
But my favorite games now are more RPG driven, more MMO related at times, more story driven. So it's hard for me to justify crafting in there when I can jump on Dragon's Age and craft a suit of armor, craft a weapon, craft stuff for my magic, and actually love the world that I'm running around in.
What I thought was nice was on Metroid Dread, they went back to the old formula of side-scroller and just added some extra stuff on there, but you had high-def cutscenes, you had stuff on there that changed the viewpoint a little bit on it.
Yeah.
And it's like...
And I mean, even... Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get quick. Okay, well, wait.
Yeah, even app games, though. Oh my goodness, actually, he's really gonna do that, Cincinnati. But even app games have come a long way. I bring it back to Slime. When I look at the graphics, the way you run around the town, the way the town looks is amazing. The combat and the battles are amazing. So it's really hard for me to sit through something like that, and oh my god, you're really gonna do that? And
that's all I was waiting for.
You really, anyhow, you really can't go from games that you like, if you like something like that, to sitting through Minecraft for me.
Yeah.
I know there are players that can. One of our favorite streamers, Scon, he is a multi-game player, and I've seen him play everything from Phasmagoria to Minecraft, but I think you have to be into Minecraft to really enjoy it. I've given it the college try. It's just not for me, but I don't hate the series.
I don't pick on the game at all. I just say, hey, you know what? That one's not for me. It's just I lost my train of thought that quickly.
I'm not shocked here.
I know, right? It was like it was there. I saw the train on the tracks coming, and then all of a sudden it took that emergency switch, and it's over there now. Bye, train.
And I think a lot of people get people with my attitude mixed up with fanboys and fangirls, and I'm not shitting on fanboys and fangirls, because as much as you think hardcore players are needed, the fans of the games are needed, because they're the ones who pay for the game. They're the ones who champion the game. They're the ones who spread the most word of mouth. So all of you haters on fanboys and fangirls can get off, as far as I'm concerned, because to me, they are the best cheerleaders for any given game, and they're the ones that keep people wanting to play. They're the ones who talk up a good game because they have fun in the game. Now, I am somewhere in the middle. I like cheering on when I'm enjoying something, but I'm not afraid to criticize the game when I feel I have problems. One of the things I wanted to talk about was my issues with Bungie's writing in Destiny 2. As much as I want to get into the storyline and the lore, I don't know what's going on currently. I feel like if you take any form of a break, which I do from a lot of my games, and come back into Destiny 2, you are pulled into so much ridiculousness that it's overwhelming. And right now we're dealing with the Sav family's soap opera yet again, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I did not like Mara or Aldrin from Destiny 1. And we're thrown into problems with them from almost the get. And I've realized as I was connecting the dots, every single major issue I've been in with my Guardian, they have had some sort of hand in.
Yeah.
Whether it was the issue with the Vex and the Vault of Glass, whether it was the issue with the Cabal and then the Taken, and now we're dealing with her yet again, and I already hate her brother. I already couldn't stand her brother, because from first meeting, he was an arrogant jerk. Then he seemingly died, and it was like, okay, we don't have to deal with him no more. He comes back.
Right.
Goes away again. Don't think about him. They bring him back in Forsaken, and he murders one of the best mentors I think we had, which is best friends to the mentor that I currently have, who is useless in game. And it pisses me off, because not only do we finally get to off Aldrin, so we think, but then we have to deal with his reincarnated body being our best friend, and you're forcing friendship on me that I don't want.
Yeah.
My Guardian would not be friends with this person. I want to try to be understanding of the Crow's situation. He got put in the body of the person that murdered somebody I considered a dear character. But it still feels like the game is forcing you to go, well, you can just deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. Good pumpkin soup sounds delicious. Actually, he's not a big soup fan. I am a big soup fan. I love soup. But it just feels like Bungie really wants to make us feel things for certain people that we don't.
Well, that, and like you said, there's no, like, we took a break. We took probably, 2-3 months off of that. And we haven't played, and then the first thing that happens when you fire it up is, okay, you got a new expansion or new storyline thing or season out. So you have a cutscene for that you have to play, and it references stuff that we haven't done, that we haven't seen. So I was like, why is this character doing? What's that character doing there? Why are we doing this now? I don't know. And they put that timeline in so you can kind of catch yourself up on it. I was like, if you're gonna have events and stuff happen in your game that's going to affect what the character is going to be playing, you need to make that a cutscene, or you need to give a review of that, because there's so much lore, and I get not giving all of it.
But they could put the lore in game so that we could find it ourselves.
Yeah, but it's like you got all that whole lore category, like all the pages, like after they killed Cade, you had all the journal and stuff like that. They have stuff like that, so you can go through and read it. But you have to find that, and if they're doing stuff based off of that if you haven't found it or you're not picking that up, you're not going to know what's going on.
You're telling me in this big ass game with all of these worlds and all these supposedly intelligent creatures, no one has a system of writing anymore? Yeah. Nobody puts anything in ways for us to just find it and have actual lore?
They have voice actors that they can hire for this stuff. Why don't they have just audio files that you could listen to that'll sum up what's going on?
You would think, but and that's the problem I feel with Destiny. But I feel like they heavy hand a lot of storylines, and they put like I felt to my core it was unnecessary for me to know about Zavala and Homegirl's relationship.
Yeah.
There was nothing leading up to it.
Yeah.
And before you ask, it's not Ikora. I'm blanking on Homegirl's name.
I can see your face.
Eris.
Morn, yeah.
I wouldn't have known. Didn't want to know. And when you put it together, it still don't make sense.
No.
I know they're trying to make Zavala seem like he has more than one emotion, which is fight. Yeah. But it doesn't come across.
But that's the thing. It's not just that he has only one emotion that fight. He never thinks he's wrong.
Exactly.
Every action he takes, he thinks he's right in it. Yeah. And it's just like everybody. I feel like they're like Destiny's trying really hard to make him a likable character. After he said, "No, we're not going after Cade's killer."
Even before, I just didn't deal with him much.
That was your friend. That was somebody that was a part of your fire team that you said you needed, and then you just went and we're gonna let it go because he's really more of a nuisance than anything.
Yeah, you turned your back on him,
and then now you're backing the guy that killed him, even though it's technically not the guy that killed him. But
still, I can't look at him, and I don't think Bungie thought about that at all with this storyline. Yeah. I think they thought, it doesn't matter, but it really...
And then Ikora not having anything to do. Yeah. She is just always standing there in the tower, and there is no story with her in it now.
And it wouldn't make sense for her to just accept the crow. And I feel like the writers are letting a perfect opportunity for character growth slip through their fingers, not giving us how she feels on this at all. Because I honestly feel like a lot of us, she would feel like, why is he here?
Yeah.
And how do you expect me to just accept it? And then eventually she would figure out whether it's worth keeping the Vanguard together and keeping that front or walking away. And for me, I would rather her walk away with the Warlocks at this point. I've never really felt part of the Vanguard.
And that's something that...
And I don't think Bungie realizes the opportunity for story they have with that.
It's like, that would be a good story. It's like the Vanguard breaking up because of this happening, and then you have to try to put it back together.
Yeah.
And like, I don't understand why they... Like, if that's what they're doing, they're waiting way too long to do
And they're playing too much of a long game with this storyline because... Honestly, the more I deal, and I'm all Woken, so this is like my people doing this,
right?
But I still don't have a connection to Mara or Aldrin or Crow, whatever, and it's just frustrating. Yeah. And the only reason why I want to even participate in this is because Petra is involved, and anytime she's involved, I know I'm going to get more lore and stuff that I don't get normally, but I just want to see how far they're going to go.
And the thing that I hate is... To get some of the weapons you want, you have to do unbelievable quests.
Yeah, it's a lot of grind.
It's like, and I get, if you got a lot of friends that play the same game, we don't. We have like maybe 2 friends that play Destiny. And there's no like community mission board or anything like that.
Before you start that up, though, that's on me. If you wanted to play with more people...
I don't. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't. I want to just get on there.
Because I was like, you do realize that all we have to do is open up the floodgate. I have ignored requests from people.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, unless you're...
I'm a very antisocial gamer.
We are very introverted people. You know, like a lot of the games I play, I grew up with 3 older brothers. I played games by myself. I learned to just play a game by myself. So if there was something I wanted to do, I did it solo.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't always want to solo, but playing, especially online on consoles, comes with that risk being a female that a lot of guys just don't think about until you've seen it.
Yeah.
I don't even talk to people on Destiny. I'm just in my female warlock playing, minding my own business. I have to deal with constant harassment.
It is uncanny how many times she gets on that we'll be running missions and stuff, and other gamers will just jump over and either start shooting at her avatar or standing in front of her shop trying to get her attention, and it's just like, dude, has that ever worked for you?
And it would be even worse if I got on a voice comm, because it's happened in games even that it's not really that prevalent. Like, one of the things I like about DDO is it's very family friendly, even though it's a bit more of a mature game. But you still have to deal with the creepers, and especially, you know, when you're pug grouping. That's why I'm glad I have my guild. It's very rare now that I have to even run with any strangers. But back in the early days of the game, it was a nightmare because the moment they heard a female voice, all bets were off.
Yeah.
You either got somebody that was like, okay, or luckily another female and you got your question done, or you got somebody who would harass. I mean, to the point where my guildmates thought it was funny at first until they had to start telling him, hey, Junior, stop asking for her.
Right.
She's not interested.
Right.
And I mean, this was a young kid. He bragged about, I just turned 17, but I like playing this game. Can I have your number? No. 17. My son currently is 16. So it really isn't flattering, y'all. And I'm not saying this like I'm some hot chick. But some of you really push onto women. And all we want to play... Stop it. All we want to do is play games. And I don't want to be uncomfortable.
And we are slowly becoming idiocracy. Yeah. If you guys want a cold shiver to run down your spine, go watch that movie.
Yeah.
Can I have your number?
Yeah.
8675309. Yeah.
But it's just one of the things I love about the gaming community is one of the things that I also hate. It's such a big community. And while I want it to keep growing, I see a lot of people who never used to be in the game and getting into it. Right. It can be overwhelming for those of us who are kind of antisocial, you know?
I didn't fill this up before we got online, you know. There's like that much water in there.
Yeah. And I've been working on...
Start filling it with bourbon.
You're not going to drink.
Yeah.
Bourbon's gross.
Wouldn't that be funny, though?
Yeah, not for me.
I don't drink at all.
I can't imagine
I have never had an alcoholic drink in my entire life. Can you imagine?
And I grew up with...
Cincinnati, you're going to lose all your channel points to that hydrate. I already did 2. How many more I got to do? 3?
I grew up with a family that sold liquor, so I know the different smells, the different textures, and everything.
Wouldn't that be funny to see me get on the person they're doing like, hey everybody, welcome to GenXCynics. I'm Collard, or
he's gonna slur words and pass out.
What?
You're a mess. And that's the thing. With gaming, I feel like there's room for everybody, but if you're gonna harass...
that guy you just saw. That guy shouldn't be.
Yeah, that guy shouldn't be. There's room for everybody, but if you're going to harass, insist that you push yourself upon people, you're gonna get ignored. We are in a day and age, especially in gaming, where I can completely shut people out of my fun. I can block them. I can ignore them. I don't let them get me to the point of where I don't want to play. And I think we need to stress that because a lot of people, they take harassment to a point where it's not fun for them. And I get, especially as you can see me, I am a African American female. There's probably not a lot that I haven't heard in ways of harassment. I don't let it get to me because they're the ones seeking me out. I'm not looking for these people.
I can think of 1 or 2.
You better not. Good Lord. I don't even know why that was even a thing, man. But
I don't know. I just didn't want to leave you hanging like.
No, you could have left that just alone, just fine.
I could have.
Oh yeah.
But would I?
You should.
Would I really?
You should. There's not a lot that I haven't heard from people, and that's why I don't let it get to me. My mind has always told me that people that have to do that got something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm doing my own thing. I'm playing my games. I'm happy. Those who go and seek those out, they're the ones with the problem.
Yeah. And that's something else I want to talk about that I was thinking about. You segued right into it. I didn't have to tell you. You just did it naturally. That's why we work so well together. When you're playing a game and something happens that you tend to feel rage about, like especially if you're playing like a first-person shooter, like I was just playing Destiny before we started to do this. I got aggravated because there's a running gambit. Every time somebody comes over to shoot the Guardians, they find me. I come out right in front of them. It doesn't matter where I'm at on the map. If I step out into the open, the person that is coming over here to shoot me has got the crosshairs already, and my head just walks right into the line of fire.
Yeah.
It happens every time. I know it happens. And I started to get a little angry with it because it was just like, why does that always happen? Then I was like, you know what? It's just a game. Just take a breath, calm down.
I mean,
and
we did
let it go.
the other day, and the guy was stalking the both of us. I got my motes in, so I didn't care. And I said it over the voice thing, and that's why Travis started laughing. Yeah. I was like, you can kill me all you want. Still got my motes in, bitch, and moved it on.
Yeah. Like, if you find yourself in a game that, and I'm not saying rage in a game is not unexpected. It's not even a bad thing. It's just like, step away for just a couple minutes.
Breathe.
Take a deep breath, relax. Remember, it's just a game. It's there for you to enjoy. If it gets to a point where you can't tolerate a game because it's become so aggravating, you need not to be playing that game.
Yeah. Nothing is worth the stress. And it is okay to take a breather from it. Loving the game, there's nothing wrong with being passionate about the things you love. That's why we do it. But some people take it to this real toxic levels, and then you stop enjoying it, and it starts getting twisted. And I just don't want to see a lot of good gamers go that route unnecessarily. Frustration happens. I handle it a lot in gaming. There are times where I get super emotional, and it's like, you know what? I need to take a break. I don't need to be on right now.
You can see me on Friday. I was getting ragey there with Ray. It's like, hey, you got nothing that can resist the Proton stream. And it was like, shut up, stop egging him on.
Exactly. Stop talking, Ray. And I was laughing. You know?
In my head, I was just like, go get her, Ray. We're watching that tomorrow, too. I want you to know that.
Right.
Ghostbusters!
My thing is, I feel like a lot of people take it to an unhealthy level unnecessarily, and you just need to realize that the reason why you play this game is to escape from, a lot of us, is to escape from the realities of the world. So don't bring that into gaming.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fun. Yeah. And if you're not having fun, why are you doing it? You can go to work if you want people getting on your nerves and not but drudgery.
Pick up a book.
Yeah.
I love picking up a book and just getting lost in the pages for a bit.
Yeah,
that was my favorite way to relax. Put
on
some
headphones, get some music going. I'm a huge mega fan. Yeah. Yep. My thing is,
be disconnected a bit. I've got my reader settings a bit too high.
Oh no, it's okay. And
that's no problem.
See you when you get back. That's the thing. I feel like
we will still be here. I don't know what that was.
I felt like it was a weird Sephiroth / disco moment.
Yeah, I'm just glad I didn't Vogue like I did last time.
I'm glad too, but now that you say it, you're probably gonna do it.
I didn't know I could do Vogue.
Yeah, I didn't either, dear. I'm just saying though, there is just so much. I keep trying to stay on topic.
I'm trying.
I keep trying. Sorry. No, it's all right.
I think it's part of my charm.
I know, dear. I know.
Musical interlude. I think people tune in just to see me vex you.
Okay. I don't know why. But, the thing is...
I wasn't doing anything that time.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to talk about next now. Every time I get rolling, I get stopped.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I will sit here quietly.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will, but that's going to be a distraction, too.
Oh, goodness. Well, we gaming, and can't even put a serious face on this. I just feel like the future is so vast, and there's just so many fun things to look forward to. Yeah. Whether it's on our phones or on our computers. I still haven't gotten into the virtual reality, but I'm hearing really good things about that. Yeah. And not just because a certain social media site is trying to pull it.
Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not calling it anything anymore. I stopped using Facebook a while ago, and them turning it into a 3D avatar chat is not going to make me want to go back either. No. And I say this as a gamer. There are going to be a lot of people who are already loosely... Hey, True! Welcome to the chat. True Creative Chaos is one of our favorite friends, and just like Ziana, one of the best streamers on here, even though she's going to want to kill me for saying that about her, but I don't care. I love her. The thing is, with 3D avatar stuff, I've done it before.
You mean you don't like meta? I think that's the dumbest thing anyone has ever said. We're going to call ourselves meta. That'd be like if I showed up and declared myself king tomorrow.
You've done that just to get me to look at you and side-eye you, but you're not.
I like it when you look at me.
He's so crazy. But I think the problem with the whole idea of Meta is Facebook isn't addressing the issues they have with people who don't want to deal with reality as it is. And now they're just giving them a way to escape from reality even more. They're not going to handle the racism issues they have. They're not going to handle the lack of combat and misinformation. They're just going to dress it up in fancy 3D avatars and act like it's not an issue. And I get it. For those who still have social anxiety and only get their socialization through online, Meta's going to be a place for them.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just going to avoid the company altogether.
I agree with Charlie, what Moist Critical said on it. I like the technology they're bringing into it. I don't think Facebook is the person to do it. Though.
Exactly.
Like if Google said they were going to come out with all this stuff.
I don't know about Google.
Well, I'm just saying as an example. Basically, if anybody else had come out and said, we're going to do this technology and we're going to come up with this new program for this, I'd have been a little bit more okay with it. But it's like, I don't...
I'm over Facebook
honestly,
for a while.
I don't really post that much on Facebook anymore. I more or less use it to just see what people are up to.
I use it to monitor family,
and that's it. That's about it. I got a few friends that are on Facebook that aren't on Twitter. Most of the time, I'm on Twitter.
Yeah. And even then, I'm not one of those people that gotta go, Bezos, Dorsey, Zuckerberg. I don't care enough about people who are rich to for that to be my ire. I worry about the fact that these guys are so far removed from their platforms that they don't see the toxicity that has built up that they could combat if they wanted to. But that toxicity rolls into money too.
I wonder if I could market you as an app.
I don't think anybody would want that app.
I think everybody. If I made an app where you got to Ask Cal, and that's what it was going to be called, Ask Cal.
No one wants that.
And it's an app that connects you directly to Cal, and you could ask her anything you want. How many people would download that?
They would be sorely disappointed because, like a cat, I would probably ignore them.
I would download it.
Why y'all starting?
You got one.
Oi, oi, oi.
I'm sure Zai would download it.
Y'all don't need to download that app unless you like being ignored by kitty cats.
Right.
Because that's about as much as attention as you would get from an app from me like that.
I was wondering how many people you would actually answer honestly before you just started going, go away.
Anybody who has my actual number knows I can be pretty bad with that stuff. I will talk to you and then all of a sudden just stop.
Isn't that Twitter?
Yeah, exactly, Zai. Thank you.
But you can use Twitter for other things. You can connect to other people. This app would just be specifically...
That would be a nightmare for me, and you know it.
I could start it out for free and then start charging people $1.
It would take more than $1 for me to put up with any of that, and you know it.
I think Ballad Club would download it too.
Hey, Ballard! Yeah, no, I'm not. No interest in this whatsoever. I would completely, my brain is internally screaming right now.
My plan is, I think Cal can secretly turn hate into a superpower, kind of like the Hulk.
What are you going on about, man?
And I think that if I got an app like this, she would eventually harness enough hate.
He just wants She-Hulk, and I don't think he should.
That she would be able to actually go Super Saiyan.
No.
And then I don't have to worry about anything
anymore. It wouldn't be good for this world. I'm just saying.
Whenever a question comes in, I'll go directly to your brain, then you have to answer it in your mind. You don't want that.
You don't want that. That is
that is the equivalent of Professor Xavier trying to read Deadpool's mind, and he just went, no. No.
If you like broken down fun houses, have at it.
This is a scary fun house off a reboot.
Mm-hmm. Hexadecimal is one of my favorite characters for a reason, y'all.
You have to think of all the people that she banned on Twitter directly. We don't need that.
I don't play on Twitter, and that's the thing I realized about social media, especially after the week that I had on there. There are a lot of game players on there, too, and their fun is fighting with each other and playing the game of war and who will side with me. Nobody wins in those kind of games. And I made it clear that I want social media for anybody who I follow and who follows me to be a pleasant experience. Yeah. I know I can't do it 100% because we are not in a pleasant world, but I'm not on there to fight with people. I'm not on there to gang up on people. And if that's what gets your jollies, fine, but it's going to come back to bite you.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of, like, social media stuff has just gone into people being angry online.
All the time.
And it was just like, how do you maintain that level of rage?
I was like,
I try to keep my gaming stuff, my Twitter, everything. I try to keep pretty chill and laid back. I was like,
yeah, rage happens, and I understand that after the last 4 years in our country, especially, that people have a buildup, but you gotta stop. Some of you are just looking to fight. Somebody says, I like this person. You can't like this person. I gotta hate on you, and everybody who follows me needs to hate on you too. And it's like, stop it.
Yeah.
People are allowed to feel how they want to feel. There are way too many of y'all that want complete groupthink and control, and that's not for me, man. Oh. I like individuals. Well, I like people to be who they are. If somebody's an asshole and I get along with them, it doesn't mean you have to get along with them. Right. It just means I find something about them that's appealing that you don't.
Yeah.
And I don't like the fact that there are people like, I don't like the way this person thinks, so I don't think you should be friends with them. You don't control me. And I really want to see a lot less of that online, especially.
A lot of people have gotten to the thing of, like, I got to rally behind something because I need something to hate. I was like, no, you don't.
No, really don't.
It's really, really therapeutic to just let the hate go.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I'm not going to let that live rent-free in my brain.
It's just not worth it.
I'm just going to relax, let it go, and you know what? It doesn't bother me anymore.
And I do short bursts of anger. I tell people all the time, I'm not a saint. When I need to let that anger out, I stop it. I let it out, but then I move on. There is nothing worth holding on to. Carrying grudges holds me down, so I just don't do it. And especially online, on social media, there are people that purposely will insert themselves into conversations or try to get your goose all the time. And it's like, you know what? More power to you. I'm going to keep it moving.
I did that once. I can't remember what the topic was on Twitter, but it was just like, this doesn't concern me, but I'm going to inject myself in this conversation. And it wasn't anything serious. Cause I mean, you guys know me. Yeah. It was some geek debate, and I was just like, I'm going to interject myself in here and see if I can't make some geeks rage. And it didn't. I got more likes than anything on it, so I was kind of disappointed a little bit, but I was just like, oh, that was good. That turned out, I was worried every time that I reply to a tweet that I'm going to spark that, yeah, you can't say that. And it's like, I didn't go in there with that intent. I wouldn't have been upset if that happened, but it would have been kind of funny.
Yeah, for me, I just don't have it in me to care that much. And the only time I ever felt like I needed to respond after the fact was when we were talking with Gail Simone about...
Exactly, Cincinnati, exactly.
Yeah, about female representation in gaming, and you had those typical guys that had the mansplain. Oh, I don't see what the problem is. I would never not play a game because I wasn't represented. And it's like, you're always represented in games. You don't come from the perspective of logging into a video game and not seeing something that looks like you or something that you want to see in regards to how females look.
Yeah.
So, for people like me who are very minimalized and barely represented in games, when I say it's important to have that visual representation, that's what I mean.
Well, it's just like when I said Friday when we were playing Ghostbusters. If they would have taken and made a character creator for the first part, so you could customize your very own character, and it goes right into the game so that you can see whoever it is. You're still the rookie. Everything still plays the same.
Yeah.
But instead you get that
generic
white guy that is going to be working with them. I was like, you could have made it much more personable to your fans.
Yeah. But a lot of games don't do that. And there are some games like... Bringing it back to Slime, because I know the series, I don't mind playing as Rimuru. I don't mind playing as Link because I love that series. But I gravitate more to games where I can customize the characters because there's still not a lot of games out there with people that look like me.
Yeah.
And it matters. And I know for some of you watching this, you'll think, well, why does it matter? Because I don't have that representation. And it is so important to not just people like me, but future gamers to feel like we are seen and not have to meet backlash when game developers give it, because that's another current problem. Game developers want to put people in that look more like people like me, and you then get angry gamers who think, oh, they're trying to woke up my game. No, they're trying to make people feel like, hey, we can play this too.
Yeah.
And what is wrong with having more diversity in games? The more of us that play, the more revenue the game generates, and the more chances you get to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that you are all smart enough to realize that, but some of you just want to gatekeep, and it's got to stop. Because like I said, I gravitate, and my money gravitates towards games where I feel seen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to stop. The older I get, the less time I have on this earth, which I know people don't like me saying, but it's a realistic thing for people my age.
You're not allowed to die. You have to live forever.
I can't live forever, dude.
You have to live forever.
I can't live forever.
Unless
the things that happen in our book become a thing, that just isn't possible right now.
How about this? You have to live at least equally as long as I live.
I'll try. I can't promise that, though.
See what I have to work with? You won't even make a simple promise.
I am realistic to a T. I don't want to make you that promise and that.
With 10?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
My thing is, I realized after I hit 40, which was a few years ago, that I don't want to waste time on things that I don't get enjoyment on, because life is not promised. So when I go into anything...
You get enjoyment out of me?
Yes, I do, dear. I don't know why sometimes, but I do. The thing is, I want to gravitate towards things that are fun. And fun for me is places where I feel represented. Why I started playing the newer Pokemon games again is because you can finally play a female trainer. You can make a trainer that actually would look the way you kind of want to look at a 10-year-old, which I really wish they would get away from that.
Yeah.
It is just so ridiculous.
It's kind of weird that, like, that is the only time that you see, like, you get the professors that are adults usually, you get
You even get some rivals that are older.
Yeah, but, like, it's not, like, if everybody was a Pokemon trainer at that age...
This world would be burnt.
They don't go on from that.
Yeah.
Like, unless you beat the Elite Four, you don't graduate to still be on, like, you just go get a 9-to-5 job somewhere?
I don't know. You don't really hear much from the protagonist in each of the games anymore.
Yeah.
Even Red, they finally brought him back in, like, I think Sun and Moon, but even still, there's no rhyme or reason to why we gotta stay little kids playing.
What if
as
there's
trainers?
like a darker version to the Pokeverse that, like, the people that defeat the Final Four, they get taken and they're being used somehow for, like, there's a Pokemon that's collecting all the top trainers.
I mean, that's a theory, but
like, once we've established and looked over everything on the Earth, are we going to the moon?
I don't
know. And we're
gonna
have a different Pokemon Moon game.
Maybe. I don't know. I just feel like I'm hopeful that if they're gonna keep the series going.
I used to be a trainer like you until I beat the Elite Four and I learned there's more to life.
Exactly. Took an arrow to the knee.
Right.
But I wonder, because I know the game's not going anywhere anytime soon. They're making tons of money off of this series. When are they going to finally start allowing older characters to be the protagonist? Because I get it that the original creator wanted the spirit of a kid going on adventures, and I know culturally speaking, it is more normal for kids in Japan to do a lot of the more independent things. But the reason why Unova was so popular with a lot of people over here is because you got to play a bit of older character.
Well, yeah, plus a lot of the people that were kids when Pokemon first came out are now adults, and they're still playing it.
Yeah.
Can we quickly talk about the difference about American and Britain? I just want to get that up.
Well, what differences do you mean? Because there's a lot. I mean, metric system versus what we currently have, the human rights. We have, and that's the thing, because we are more of a geek and pop culture thing, but I will set the record straight on that. I know that a lot of stuff that's reported about our country is bad right now, but we are 50 states trying to work together as one country, and you can't condemn our entire country based off things like Florida and Texas, because our system is weird. Even though we call ourselves the United States, we are individual states. So we sometimes do individual stupid things. The current human rights stuff that we have issues with in Texas, that is a Texas thing. Not everybody in America is on board with reducing women's rights to choose. We just have certain states that know it's a hot button issue and they can mess around with it. It would be like us blaming all of the UK for stuff that went on in Ireland with the IRA. That would be ignorant. We know that there is differences in what goes on in Ireland. Hopefully, we know the differences that go on in Ireland and Scotland and actual England. But there are people that would mix you up with no care. So I like to remind people that even though we are the United States of America, we are individual states, and we don't all do the same things. What goes on in our state of Michigan is vastly different than what goes on in our neighboring Ohio. It's just the way it is. And it doesn't make sense to a lot of people, especially if you are supposedly under one nation, but that's never been our thing. We've always been a bunch of different states just trying to kind of coexist.
Big melting pot, and sometimes you get that part of the pot
that's goo.
Like, ew, everything didn't mix well here.
Yeah. And I get it. Right now, we have been the laughing stocks for the last couple of years. Yeah. We have. We have the ability to make things better for ourselves, and we don't.
Yeah.
We have the ability, we have so many luxuries that we take for granted that some people would give. I watched this documentary the other day where there are people literally living in cage-like apartments because that's all they have. So I am grateful for everything that I currently have, that I hope to have in the future. But I realize that we could be doing a lot better and appreciating what we have here. But I will say that I'm grateful I'm here.
Right.
You know?
I'm not saying that you are all doing the same things. We just don't talk about the states in America, so whenever it comes up on the news, we just think it's the whole country.
And I get that. Our media is a lot to blame for that, too, because they make it seem like the stuff that goes on in New York, even. I'm a New Yorker. I was born and raised in New York. I know it is a whole different world.
I'll fight you like a New Yorker.
I would. It's a whole different world from the rest of the country. The looks of horror he has and some of the stuff that I've told him about that was completely normal to me. Riding the subway, certain things that I got used to as a New Yorker that, a lot of people probably think only happens in things like anime and movies, but it was a reality.
We like watching Impractical Jokers, and they're based out of New York for the most part. They started traveling to do their show in other places where they're not as recognizable. But like some of the stuff that like we've seen on the show, and I looked over at it and I was like, why would you do that? You just ignore it,
Yeah.
Like when somebody if somebody were to do that in the town I grew up in, that would gather a lot of attention.
Yeah, in New York it was just a Tuesday. Yeah. I would sit on a train and have somebody walk on the train with a thong, fishnets, and a smile.
Yeah.
And they would just sit there, and it's mostly a dude sometimes, or somebody that might even be a woman in transition, and it was nothing. That was just a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you had people that would yell Bible verses and talk about how the world was going to end. It really was a different world. And Philly got horses. My cousin told me about that. I didn't believe it at first. And then you see homeboys on horses.
Yeah.
For real.
I don't, where I grew up, horses weren't that big of a thing. They had, every year
we went upstate for horses.
They had, a parade and a fair and stuff, and there were horses. They had a lot of farm country and everything like that. So, but
But in Philly, you could be down the block where buildings are and see a homeboy on a horse.
Yeah. As an example, the job I used to work at, it's retail store, so it's a lot like if you want to know how a town works, go to the biggest retailer in that town, and you will see exactly how the town functions, because the retailing store is going to function the exact same way. And we used to have this guy come in that was wearing skinny jeans, like almost like stretch pants skinny jeans, clearly a toupee, and some other weird stuff that he would wear and I say weird because it was unusual for the area. And like you said, in New York, he wouldn't have got a second look. But when he come into the store, I knew about it, but it's before he got past the bread, and I was all the way on the other side of the store. That's just how fast news travels. So it drew the attention of everybody in the store.
And where I came from, everybody's vying for attention anyway, so you just learn who to block out.
Yeah, you just kind
of... You might look, and it's like, okay, whatever, back to my book.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And I think that's how I developed the attitude I have, and I passed it on to Kiddo. He's the same way. You know? Things that automatically try to get my attention, I just flat.
That's a well-trained horse, though.
Yeah.
You can drive through the hood and see a horse waiting at the light.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that is the reality, though. And that's why I like to remind people that even though we call ourselves America and we all try to be one country, we are just, it's like a share house.
Yeah.
We are a bunch of roommates living in our sections, just trying to coexist and not always succeed at not killing each other.
And the last 4 years did a lot to hurt.
A lot of damage.
Our reputation as a country.
A lot of damage because it made it seem like we were okay with stuff that we weren't okay with, especially human rights violations. And I take that to heart because a lot of people want to shy away or not think about that, and that's how it repeats. What happened to people who were trying to migrate here was not okay. What happened to the people trying to seek asylum was not okay. And I'm grateful that we have a current administration that's trying to do their best, but they're not perfect people either. And a lot of people are expecting them to do miracles that'll make everybody happy, and that's just not the reality because we still have people who are very hateful of their fellow human beings, who grew up being indoctrinated in the belief that that person lived in another place as you, so you can't like them, and they're very loud. But they don't represent all of us.
They're very loud, and they just got done having the last 4 years somebody tell them, hey,
Justified.
Everything you want to do is A-okay, you go ahead and do it. And now you got to try to shove that evil back in a box.
And they're not going to go back. And the thing is, we can't shy away from the fact that they really thought that they could seize power and turn us into whatever grossness they thought. Those of us who didn't want that, we need to continue to keep stepping up and saying, this is our country too. We are going to work with everybody and be better people. And it's not easy. And I know that it can be exhausting, but they're just loud. They are not the majority, and that is their fear.
And eventually we're going to get to a point where it's not going to be, hey, I want to be a better person for this group, or I want to be a better person for that group. We're going to get to a point eventually where we just want to be better people.
Yeah.
Because we're all the same people.
And life is too short to be a shitty person.
Yeah, and it's like, I hope we get to see it, but with the constant fight and bite back that you get, we might not. But eventually,
we can at least plant the seeds to get it started.
Yeah, as like, we have to start now, because if we start now, that tree will grow. And hopefully, within the not-too-distant future, we'll be actually able to be like, hey, you know what? I feel like taking the shuttle bus to the moon today. And we can be more like Star Trek.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was promised as a kid. By now, we would have...
we have
replicators.
At least a system of getting back and forth that's a lot faster than cars. I thought we would really be in the future.
I thought we'd have more solar panels and stuff than right now than what we do.
And that we would be really space exploring by this time.
Yeah. Or just exploring the depths of our planet. We don't know half of what goes on here.
Exactly. Our ocean's still a mystery. Our geological stuff, it's still being studied. And that's why I say we have to be better ourselves. And it's not about making other people better. Your best shot is to work on yourself, because if you're working on being a better person and learning something new every day, you're doing your part to make things better.
And it has
everybody.
A ripple effect. You may not see it. You may not see the outcomes of the good things that you do. But it's like throwing a pebble in a pond. Those ripples go out, they spread, they make bigger ripples, and before you know it, you could help somebody Your one act of kindness can affect somebody you don't know that lives 1,000 miles away from you.
Yep.
But also, your act of hatred can do the same thing.
Exactly.
So it's, what do you want to be? Do you want to be hate, or do you want to be kindness?
And I tell people, I do things the way I do whether somebody's looking at me or not, because I'm not doing it for that attention. When I'm nice to somebody, it's because I felt like doing that at the time. I don't do it to say, hey, look at me, I'm a nice person. I never tell people I'm a nice person, because that's a lie.
Yeah.
And I've made that clear. I am a very chaotic, neutral person. I can flip that script in a heartbeat if I need to.
And I can accelerate from 0 to 60 in the matter of a half a second.
I just think that nice people, y'all do exist. I'm not one of you. I just know how to be nice. But I know how to be nasty too. And I think that balance is sometimes needed.
Yeah.
It's a realistic thing. I bring it to gaming. I bring it to everything I do. I treat people how I want to be treated, but the moment I feel disrespected, you're going to regret it. And I've made that clear too. I might not carry grudges, but I will scalp a person if I have to. No regrets. And I'll find out about you because I'm scary like that. Because I want you to know that you messed with the wrong person and then you leave me alone. Or, like that one guy that had to find out the hard way.
Yeah.
I've had to deal with online stalkers too. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It really is. It's not fun. It's like, there's teenagers dressed up walking around. That's weird.
Yeah.
If I don't engage in whatever stuff you're trying to start with me, take that hint. I had somebody try to overstep that line because they was like, I'm going to make you deal with me. And the thing about me is I don't always use my friends to step in to things for me. But I'm grateful that I have the kind of friends that can. And this dude thought that he could threaten me in a way of making me feel like if I opened the door to my house, he'd be out there. And that was a step too far.
Yeah.
And I have friends that are former military and still current military that were like, what did he say to you? And they paid him a visit. My friends don't play. And I don't ask them to threaten people on purpose at all.
You're fine.
But the moment you try to make me, and back then I was a single mom, and I was scared. I mean, that was the first time I told you I was that scared. If I get to that level, you're going to stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
I will call in that favor. And I don't say that lightly, and I shouldn't have to. But there are a lot of women out there that have to do that. And y'all need to stop making us feel like that. It's not right.
And I'm not by any means a violent person. Kat will tell you it takes a lot to push me to the level of I'm going to do something about this. Had it not stopped, though, people would have saw a side of me that they have never seen before, and they're not going to want to see.
Yeah.
Because that is unacceptable. If someone tells you flat out or just is not responding to you and it's just like, leave me alone, leave them alone.
Yeah. There's
nothing you can do. They don't want to have anything to do with you, so take the hint and just walk away.
Exactly. Just the online experience doesn't have to be as bad as it's been lately.
Yeah. But it seems like it's just a concentrated thing of hate lately that was just like, hey, this is the place I can go and let this out on, and then it like I said, it has a ripple effect. And
it's a mirror, y'all. If you don't think that your anonymity allows you to act that way, that's who you really are. That's the reason why I don't do that anonymous stuff. I am who I am online and off, because it would be exhausting to act a certain way for people. That's just not how I carry myself in life. So the way you portray yourself, if you get your jollies trolling, if you get your jollies saying hateful things, that's who you are. You can't fake that funk, man.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that try that. They have the dual accounts where the one is that likable person and the next is that hateful person, and it always crisscrosses. Y'all think you are playing that game well, but your vernacular has a pattern to it. Everything you do has a pattern to it, and eventually you're going to show your real self. So, I don't know. That's just advice from me. I just carry myself the way I carry myself. That way, nobody can say they've been bamboozled or railroaded by me.
The best thing you can do is just be yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, why put all the energy on to be something that you're not?
Exactly.
When you can just be yourself, and people will accept you or they won't.
And stop. I mean, it's hard. We have based ourselves as a society based on acceptance, but some of you get so depressed because you want like this instant success and to be loved by everybody instantly. Who cares? Have fun in what you're doing and it will come to you. I tell people all the time, I don't do these Twitch things for fame.
Yeah, don't get your value off of somebody else. Yeah. If you're happy with you, other people will be happy with you.
And even if they're not, you have your own worth. It's not about what other people think about your worth. It's about what you see when you look in that mirror. And if you don't like what you see, how do you expect anybody else to like it?
Yeah.
And when you do these things, you're doing it because you're having fun. And when you do that, that is like a magnet. And I tell people all the time, we draw in people when we're having our fun. You repel people when you're just, I can't believe it. And I got to worry about analytic. I don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
I will never, ever stress myself out about that. And the moment this stops being fun, I'll move on to the next thing. Mm-hmm. That has always been my attitude. And I think maybe it is a Gen X thing. Yeah. Because things thrown at us is a norm. You know? I just don't let it get to me. You're not ruining the stream system now. Don't worry about it. I tell Axiom all the time, I am very bad with paying attention to chat. If you haven't learned that with me by now, being in my gaming chats, I don't know what to tell you. I don't get too distracted by chat. And I don't let things get to me.
A lot of times we'll start a conversation and, like, we'll just run with it. I'm a little bit better at multitasking with the chat.
Yeah.
But
I am completely horrible with it. Yeah, I make no
even with like, you know, my game streams, I set up something specifically so I could see chat. And,
I don't.
I try very hard to make sure I pay attention to both, and I'm good there. I don't know what I'm gonna do as the chat gets busier though.
You're gonna turn into me, because even during the Bonnet Chronicles, I might catch a few things every once in a while, but if I need to focus on the topic, I'm going to focus on the topic. And even with these GenXCynics, I love interacting with you guys, and I love talking about the topics we are, but when I'm on a tangent, it only he can distract me from the tangents. And he loves doing that, y'all.
I don't do it on purpose.
Yes, he does.
I don't do it no. She thinks it's on purpose. Sometimes I just say words that are in my brain.
Mm-hmm. But we're going to get ready to wrap things up, because I've got pizza dough that I want to manipulate. I was going to wait till tomorrow, but I really want to do a test pizza tonight and see if I did good with the dough. I think I did. I'm really excited about it.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, don't say it like that. Stop it. Oh my goodness, you're going to keep staring at me. Oh, yeah. But it was really...
I didn't have to say anything that time.
It's almost 6 p.m. here on the States.
Yeah, we've been going for an hour and 12 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, almost 6 p.m. on, what did you guys call the night for Halloween?
We just called it Halloween Eve.
Oh, really? Yeah. We used to call it Devil's Night.
Not here. I heard about Devil's Night from a New Yorker's perspective. A lot of people went crazy and, you know, caused a lot of mayhem and violence, and that's from a city that's known for mayhem and violence. We never called it Devil's Night. It was just Halloween Eve.
Well, it's funny because we had one happen when we were living just outside of town. Somebody came by and toilet papered all the trees and everything.
Wow, what a waste of toilet paper.
Yeah, and it was just like...
Nowadays, you get beat up for that.
Why would you guys do that? And then... to get back at them, because we knew exactly who did it. It wasn't a big mystery, you know. You live like 2-3 miles out of town. There's only so many people that are going to drive out that far to toilet paper your trees and car and everything.
Wow.
And we were like, my brother was like, "Oh, I know exactly who did it. I'm going to get him back." So like the day before Thanksgiving, they went down and toilet papered their entire yard, trees, everything, and their parents called. They were like very mad because they had people coming over, and I was like, "Hey, you guys did it to us on Halloween. I know you did." And I wasn't doing this. It was my brother, because he was talking to the friend of the house that actually did it. And so we'll come down there and clean it up. But the second the kid that lived there that had the idea to come do it stops, we're leaving.
Now, see, Halloween was a bit different for me growing up because while we didn't have Devil's Night, Halloween Day, I used to opt to stay home after a while because going home from school meant the egg run.
Yeah.
Because guys, girls, it didn't matter who, would go and get eggs from home or buy them in the store. And it got to the point where the store stopped selling eggs to kids for that day because everywhere was just eggs. And it was just like a war to try to get home without getting covered in eggs. And rarely ever happened. People got bombed.
The bad part about that is I would have just planned ahead. And I'd have been like a month ahead. I would have been buying eggs. And then now you don't have to just deal with eggs. You have to deal with stinky.
That's gross. No, I honestly, I just thought the whole ideal of it was a pain in the butt. But it was something I remember that a lot from the childhood.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. That it's like, I think every region has a different name for it.
Yeah.
Like
that's why I guess we saw a group of teenagers walking around, and it's like, they better just leave my property alone because I'm the crazy lady, and I'm not playing with that nonsense.
Well, they didn't bother us last year.
No, this neighborhood's been pretty quiet, thank goodness. You know, all things considered, we got really lucky. We live in a pretty quiet area, and I'm grateful for that. So, but you know, you never know. People have been cooped up for 2 years too. So.
Right.
It is a mess, y'all. But if you are going out, if you're going to have festivities tomorrow, do your best to be safe and secure. Because,
be safe, wear your masks. Even if you're fully vaccinated, please wear your masks.
And just get home safely, y'all. I know partying is a big thing. Some of y'all are old enough to drink and stuff. Just do it safely. We want to see you. We want to be able to watch you, game with you, and just geek out with you. So please do your best to party responsibly.
Have fun,
tomorrow.
But celebrate responsibly.
Yeah. And, you know, I know, we're lame. We're the adults in the room. We just want y'all to be safe.
She's the adult in the room. I'm barely controlled. Child angst.
Halloween, for me, has always been fun because of the lore, but I do agree that some people take it to extremes. It's like any holiday, though. Like, he's still trying to get me to like Valentine's Day. It's not
I'm not trying to get you to like Valentine's Day. I just made it very clear that you will not convince me not to do anything for you on Valentine's Day.
It's the worst holiday in the world for me. I cannot stand it.
You believe that, like, one year I had to actually promise her not to do something and she got happy for it?
I was just ecstatic.
And I still did something.
I know.
Wasn't that the year I bought you that rose?
Yeah. And gave me that note. Yeah, you thought I wasn't going to do something for this day.
Yeah. I told her it's not going to happen. So.
Exactly.
Even if I just got to go out and cut a little heart out of paper and give it to her, I'll do something.
But I feel like any holiday is what you make of it. Like, next month, we're going to be doing Thanksgiving my way, and I think Axiom's going to enjoy it because it's a really laid-back way of doing the holidays. I've had a big family, so I'm kind of over big gatherings, and I like it intimate and quiet, you know?
My anniversary's the week before Valentine's Day.
Oh, no. So you got to share those two.
I would say ignore Valentine's Day and focus more on the anniversary then.
Make it Love Week or whatnot, I guess. See, I don't do anything as a big deal, though. My birthday, none of that. I mean, it's just not
this year, he should serenade you with a Little Lee song. If he needs help writing it, just let me know. I'll help him out.
He loves that Little Lee. He really, really loves the Lidls.
Empty.
But yeah, before the teenager starts really pacing.
I'm waiting for an axe to come through the door. They're like, is it dinner time? Little Lee.
Good Lord, no.
Okay. No. We're going, folks. Have a great Halloween. We will see you later. Stay safe.
Yup.
Bye.
Bye.